In the penultimate episode of her podcast, Meghan Markle explored the freedom that can be found when we go beyond the archetype. The Duchess of Sussex sat down with Sex and the City author Candace Bushnell and activist Michaela J. Rodriguez to discuss expressing one's identity and embracing individuality. She also spoke to recent graduates of her former secondary school, Immaculate Heart High School, about how times have changed and whether the same societal pressure she experienced as a teenager remains. In new clips during her visit to Immaculate High this summer, Meghan narrates the moment she walked onto the pretty campus, pointing out where her locker was and noting the school's nice and new refurbishment. She recalled being happy to be back there and emphasized the influence the school had on her life. "I was there from ages 12 to 17, which are really formative years in your life," the Duchess explained. "They certainly were for me. Let me just say, being back there, the energy, it was palpable." Meghan popped in to see some of the students in volleyball practice and caught up with students in the hallway. "So many memories came flooding right back to me." The Duchess went into one of her old classrooms, saying, "It's so great because as an adult you come back into this environment, it feels so small, but when you're in high school, this campus was so big." Prince William is holding huge grudge against Harry and Meghan. Prince William and Prince Harry were united in grief as they mourned the loss of their grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. However, Christopher Anderson, author of the upcoming book The King, The Life of Charles III, has claimed the Prince of Wales is still holding a grudge against his younger brother and his wife. What is it about? Find out here. Meghan went on to say she struggled with knowing how she was supposed to be as an adolescent, and wanted to talk with some younger women about whether they felt the same. She said, "I visited the school to sit down in conversation with three amazing young women just on the cusp of adulthood. They had just graduated about a month or so prior." The Duchess spoke to Abigail, Diana and Grace before the first episode of Archetypes had been released. She wanted to ask them whether the stigmas and labels that she grew up with still hold the same weight. She said, "Here's what I'm looking into and I want to see if you see it through the same lens or if things have really changed. I've been talking to a lot of women about the words, stereotypes and labels that could be put on us, women. I want to ask you guys, what are the labels that you think women get tagged with? The B word, bimbo and bossy all came up during their conversation, labels that Meghan has addressed during the previous episodes of her podcast. The three former students shared Meghan's dislike for the word BTCH, saying it just really rubs me the wrong way, and admitting to finding the term frustrating, particularly when it is used so casually. However, unlike the Duchess, who grew up hearing the word bimbo all the time, the young women explained they had only heard the term on TikTok as a self-description. They also noted a difference in the way single women are perceived in modern society, saying they don't have that pressure on them to conform to that norm or of women getting married and having children. It stands in difference to Meghan's own experience at the school when she was given the assignment to plan her own wedding, a task the more recent students deemed insane. Concluding the conversation, one of the students said women might change themselves based on the stereotypes they are labeled with. It causes them to lose who they are or try to fit themselves to society's expectations, which is so sad. Describing the discussion as refreshing, the Duchess said the last comment really stuck with her, questioning how archetypes affect the human ability to just be. She used the rest of the podcast to challenge the labels we are given by society and find ways to embrace the nuances that make up individuality. In open conversations with Candace Bushnell and Michaela J. Rodriguez, the Duchess explores how each woman has lived outside the box of archetypes.